like that, one, mad love for you, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Women, women don't have camaraderie at all. Women don't like women. Okay, men, men, we this nigga right here, that's my dog. That's my dog. That's my brother. I'm talking so deep to where I knew his baby mother before I knew him. And his baby mama had a thing for me. You feel me? And the first time I see
Mm-hmm.
this nigga from a distance, I'm like, she's like, oh, come meet my baby daddy. And I'm like, I looked out the damn door at the grocery store. I said, that nigga kind of tall. He black as hell. I ain't fucking with that nigga and it's raining. And he
Yeah,
changing the tire in the rain. That nigga angry. I'm not going to meet that nigga. The fuck I look like going to meet this nigga? You feel me? And then the fast forward late nights, me and this nigga sitting in the car smoking. We got a 6-pack of beer, smoking a couple blunts and shit, talking about stresses and what he got going on. I got my ex-wife, what I got going on. We done sided. And once she realized that me and this nigga was as close as we was, oh man, all hell broke loose. All
it was a
hell broke
problem. It was
loose.
an issue.
It was an issue then.
It was an issue.
I said,
See,
yo,
but
that's
then
my
that
bro.
just says like a lot about the state of the relationship. The fact that you don't have that camaraderie with a female. I don't necessarily think that I fiend for, I wouldn't say the affection of a female, but like that bond that you have with a female, that sisterhood that you have with a female, when you're a real one. Now, if you trifling, then yeah, you're gonna have animosity and jealousy and all that. But the real ones is like, we want to see ours win. We gonna tell you your man's looking at me crazy. Like it's a different degree of people in general, but when it comes to males and when it comes to females, there's different degrees of it. So you can't necessarily say that females don't have that camaraderie that men do, because we do have that love for each other. It's just the type of females that it takes in order to have that.
Today, you just made a statement, and I'm gonna hold you on that. You better stand on it. You just said, "Hey, bro, if you gay, just say you gay."
With your
You know how many times we done heard that? All because a nigga will go out, and I'm one of them niggas. I'm a millionaire right now. It's a difference if I got a girlfriend, a wife, whatever. Let's just say I'm a single man, heterosexual. I'm a millionaire. I'm gonna take my brothers out to the mall, and I'm gonna give all my brothers $10,000 and put it in their pocket, and say, "Yo, get anything you want, my nigga, anything." A female will look at that and say, "That's gay as fuck." But this nigga won't pay my light bill. I don't gotta pay your light bill. You gotta pay your light bill. I don't gotta do that. And my nigga, he gonna get whatever. Now, what he do with his baby moms or whatever, it might not be right. That's on him, not me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it ain't,
Mm-hmm.
It's
and
the same though, because like I got a sister and she wasn't necessarily in the best of spots, and we go out to the mall and I'm getting her, I got her this long ass little sweater and stuff like that. Now I ain't no damn millionaire, but it's the same thing for like the real females. And that's the thing, is like the real ones get lost. I have this saying where it's like the Bible's like, okay, we are the salt of the earth. Well, we are the salt, yeah, but we are the salt among sand. Yo, you go to the beach, how the hell you gonna tell the difference between the sand and the salt? So when we talking about on broad scales, clearly we talking about the sand. We're not talking about the people that are like us. And because we tend to gravitate towards people that are like us, we're not realizing how trifling the sand is out there and how plentiful the sand is out there. I'm not realizing your struggle with these females because I'm assuming everybody else is like me. And you're not realizing the struggle of these, of the females themselves, because you're not realizing like everybody ain't like you. And to you, it's like, okay, well, what my boy does with his girl is his business. But I'm like, if I see my girl cheating, I'm like, yo, you trifling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to check you. I'm going to check you. I'm going to put you in your.
but I got a question for you. How many knives does it take to be put in your back before you say fuck it?
You got to ask yourself how many people you had along the lines that you chose to put around you that was willing to
So,
carry a knife.
so the question is, How many knives does it take? Listen, I told you, my people from Hoover Street. I'm tapped in over there. You from over there, so you know what I'm talking about. And I don't trust my own people. I don't hang around them niggas. I don't sit in nobody back seat.
So why
Okay,
call them your boys?
huh?
So why call them your boys?
They not. That's it's a family. That's why. I got people in my blood family that me and Day One could tell you that we don't fuck with. They still my cousin when we go to Thanksgiving or the cookouts. They gonna be there. You get what I'm saying? And my auntie and them, she gonna spark off on everybody if you disrespect. That's the family way. You keep the family drama behind closed doors. You don't bring it outside. So the question I'm asking you is that how many times does it take? How many times would it take for you to get stabbed in your back by a homegirl or homegirls? Because like you said, we're different type of people. We'll put the hand out to genuinely help.
And you know that from experience.
Right. So that's what
You
I'm
know
at.
who I am.
So I'm able to ask you how many times before you say fuck it. Don't call me for nothing.
Now you
Nobody.
talking about for male or female? Because I feel like, are we more likely to cut off another male or another, the same sex,
The
or are
same
we more
sex.
likely to cut
Same
off
sex. Same sex. Yeah, same sex.
I've been done wrong by more men than I've done by women. And I think that it comes down to the fact that you're probably more choosy with your homeboys than you are with your girls. And I'm probably more choosy with my homegirls than I am with dudes. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like I'm gonna be quicker to kind of turn a blind eye to somebody that I'm attracted to of the opposite sex and to see the best in them. But I'm gonna like really seek out a homegirl and really see the inside of her before I call her mine. But that's the same thing with your homeboys. Like you really gonna look into who that is before you call that your boy. Before he could call you like, hey man, I'm short on a bill. You got me? It's gonna take a lot more for a female to have you have her than it is. And it's gonna take a lot more. I don't know. I feel like you guys are gonna be more willing to hand out to a homeboy than you are to look out for a girl because you guys have been done so had so many knives in your back from females, not necessarily males.
All right, so let's switch it up a little bit. Do you feel like uh me and my brother here, we were talking about multicultural. Do you
I got
feel
all
like
that.
do you right, so you know where I'm going. So do you feel like having a piece of this side and having a piece of that side, like J. Cole, how does that how has that shaped you in your life growing up to be a grown woman having boys and knowing where your kid's father from, etc.
Maybe I'm buzzing a little too hard. Can I get you to rephrase that?
All right, so you got kind of, they would say, America would say you got the best of both worlds. That's what America would say, right? And then from what I know about you, your kid's father is,
African.
he's from the land, right? How does having the best of both worlds form and shape who you are today and how you think? Do you think that, and rest in peace to moms, because she was always sweet and good to me. Do you think that if your mom was black, would it be any different for you now, or your thought process and how you move?
Oh, I definitely fall into that, white mom, black dad type thing. But see, the mom that you knew was my stepmom. Um, so she was a white person that liked black men. Um, my birth mom, I don't know, that's kind of like that's a hard question to answer because I do fit in the middle ground, but I was raised amongst black people. Like I didn't know the white side of my family. I didn't even know my birth mom until I was like 13. Um, I don't know.
Correct.
I don't really know how that shaped me necessarily, but I'm looking at it like my mom, my white mom was more the black power type person.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my dad was born in the 30s and he couldn't drink out of certain drinking fountains. And I joined the Black Culture Club, and he's like, "What do you guys do? Walk around killing white people?" Like, like, you know what I'm saying? So my experience isn't necessarily everybody else's experience.
But how do
It's,
you feel like it shaped you as a person?
you said what?
How do you feel like it shaped you as a person?
I don't know, because I grew up amongst Black women aside from my stepmom, and it was like those were the women that kept their house, took care of their man. Like it very much made me like it, I'm an old school generation. Like it would be like being raised by your grandma. So the people that are my first cousins are 50, 60, 70 years old right now. They're older, it's an older generation, so I come more with a catering spirit, how to cater to a man, how to, you know what I'm saying, like make sure he's taken care of. I'm going to pray over you while you sleep, but I can't necessarily say that that's from a white background or a background, because on both sides of it, that's where I come from. That's where my mom is, that's where my dad's, sisters are, that's where my cousins, my aunties, everybody comes from that. So I can't really speak to everybody else's experience. I think that it's kind of made me more, if you will, Black power, because I was taught of what my father went through. And I was taught of, I still look at my dad kind of strange, because I'm like, why do you choose white women? You know what I'm saying? Like my dad was like, he had the smoothest, silkiest hair. And he's like, oh, I come from, like, I had the nappiest hair of my seeds, you know what I'm saying? Of my siblings. So I don't know. I can't really speak for how the multicultural comes in, except to say that like I feel some type of way of what my mom's side, the white side, did to my Black side. And I see things in a different type of way because my mom taught me to see, the education system leading into the jail system, leading into, just the way that we're grouped together in society and the things that aren't given to Black people in general. You know what I'm saying? So are you speaking to it as a person, or are you talking about as what formed me as a woman?
Um,
Yeah, you don't ask me
yeah.
questions. We ask you questions. No, I'm just playing.
No, no, no. I say,
I ain't got that
yeah.
much pride in me, son.
Go ahead,
I
bro.
would,
Go
I would
ahead,
say,
bro.
I would say, I would say this real quick, yo. This only been 12 minutes into this, bro. Bro, she different, bro. Like I was raised like that too, around my grandma. I was the oldest cousin, so like my next cousin was like 3 or 4 years younger. So as I got older, I'm like, man, I ain't about to keep doing that shit with them. You know what I'm saying? So I hung out with the uncles. Uh, half of my first cousins was old too,
What you
and
learn
I
from?
started out, I started out being raised from the aunties and how she saying how they took care of the house and how they man. So like when I see that, and then you look at the day, it's like something missing. You get what I'm saying? And
Do you think that these girls just raised by hoes because they raised by the
that's
young?
that's what it is. That's what it is. They raised by hurt people who hurt people. They
Amen.
jump from person to person. They don't take the time out to heal.
But would it be fair to say that sometimes, like my grandfather, we go from Alabama to you already know Small World, Marlboro County,
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina, out there near Chapel Hill, and my granddaddy, he would take us away. He would take the boys away from grandma, and we
Mm-hmm.
going out in the backyard
That's what's
Exactly.
getting to work. You ain't finna sit up under your grandmama all
Mm-hmm.
day. Now, I agree on both of y'all ends because what she's saying is totally correct, but what you saying is correct too. But at the same time, I think it's the agenda of the man because now we
Mm-hmm.
got love and hip hop, Atlanta
Say it.
Housewives, and my man's girl was like, I should be treated like the girls on the Atlanta Housewives, and if I'm not, you doing something wrong.
get your whole life.
Hey yo, bro. Yo, that's funny. Because in the way they all getting cheated on.
Let's talk about
They
cheating.
you know what I'm saying? They all getting cheated on.
And I'm Genesis. I'm gonna give you a segue because my family, we was raised on polygamy, right? My
That's
granddaddy,
the whole thing.
yeah, my grandmama, my granddaddy, he graduated from Duke University. He came up here to Connecticut. He built a house for my grandma. After time, we really figured out like why granddad ain't never home. He only came home on the weekends to put us to work. Niggas was working the hell out of us, goddamn. And this nigga had two, three other families. And come to find out, grandma knew about all of it. She knew about it. But as
So
long as the bills was paid,
house type shit.
yeah, as long as the bills was paid, she didn't care what was going on. They would sit every Sunday, they would sit at the dining room table, write checks, write the bills out, her, and grandma to give her some credibility. She went out and got her a part-time job because she did stand on principle to say, I don't want to rely on no man. Just in case he decided to do what he want to do,
Mm-hmm.
I got my own money. So we looked at grandma like, all right, yeah, grandma, we see you, but we also looked at granddad like, yeah, yeah, he getting that. So where does the cheating come in? Where does actually this is your segue? Where does the cheating come in when you could keep it honest and be real about it at the same time?
I think everybody has their own dynamic. So if she knew about it and she's okay with it, then I have no judgment on her. At the same time, I got to ask, what were you guys missing? What was she missing in that time that was spent with the other families? What were they missing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't only spread yourself so thin. you can't you can't give what it is that you're supposed to give if you're spreading yourself amongst so many. So there's things that now you're missing because you only see him on the weekends. But at the same note, you could look at a family that doesn't have polygamy, like my family. My dad worked an hour away. We pretty much saw him on the weekend based on his schedule. So were they really missing? I don't know. I think if with polygamy being a beautiful thing, I think that that's more the wives working together to raise the children, and so you have more than one, and it shouldn't necessarily be taking the man outside of the household. It should be more the man shared amongst the household aside from what's done in the bedroom. I can't speak on that because that's not my preference. I'm greedy. I'm gonna pray over you. I'm gonna be doing all of this. I'm literally going to war for you while you sleep. So if that's where I'm at, then I'm going to need that same dedication back. I believe that I deserve that. As far as the cheating goes, I feel like that's where lies come in. Back when I was younger, I still got so many homeboys that were just honest about it. Like, it is what it is or it isn't. When my kids were young, I didn't deal with nobody in a relationship because I was like, I'm not going to have my kids fall in love with this man and then we break up and then my kids have to go through heartbreak. So anything that I did with myself, I made sure that that individual was disqualified from a relationship so that I didn't have that that connection with him and have to worry about my children having to go through that. My children never been molested. They've never seen anger in the home. They've never seen violence. Like, I've spared them that. But at the end of the day, I had to look back at myself and be like, you know what? My kids are now 14 and 15 years old. And I've been through one relationship once they turned like 8, 10 years old. And that was like a 3 or 4 year relationship. They had to step down for a little while, but they never saw what real love was. They never got to see what it was to be adored, to be, that commitment, that connection. That man asked me to marry him multiple times, and I said no every time because I feel like they deserve that. So it's kind of a toss up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole not having kids out of wedlock was for a freaking reason.
But I think also Small World, I want to tap in on you real quick, some things because bro, I pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And like his pops, like his mom is a strong woman. When I say that's a strong woman, like she like she like she wasn't even my manager on the job because we worked at the same job. But when she came around, it was like she was the mama. She was everybody's mama. You know what I'm saying? Like when she walked through. So it's like when I met his pops, and I think he was going through something, and I used to go over to the house or whatever, and I actually got to meet his pops at his mom's house, and I'm like, fuck is going on here? I thought you said, all right, let me mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna mind my business, but she was that like she was strong, but she will open her heart up, and that's that old school. Like you said, something missing.
Mm-hmm.
It's that old school to where if something was going on with his pops, his moms will open her door to him. Basically, you know what I'm saying? And there ain't no
Or
weird
not
shit
together.
going on. Yeah, they not together.
Mm-mm.
Not together. No weird shit going on. She would open her door, and that showed me a different side of life, especially for the things that I was going through at the time. And it was just like, damn, like, and that's why I side with him. Like, it's something that we missing, but I feel personally, it starts with the female. I'm sorry,
How
yeah,
so?
because
Well,
go ahead, bro.
coming from that, and my pop, cause like growing up, it was different. G, like they both, was in the church.
Rest in peace too. Rest in
Oh
peace.
yeah, always, always. I grew up in the church or whatever, but that's what I be saying about life, man. When life happens, it's like that, and how you react to it, that determines everything. So what ended up happening? They got in a bad car wreck. My dad broke his leg, and shit just started spiraling. So at that point, the point you talking about, by the time we had got to that point, I say like he was going like house to house. You know what I'm saying? Getting in all kind of shit or whatever. And how can I put it? But as far as that missing piece and her opening that door, that was nothing but God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a Christian. You know what I'm saying? See, as you know me, I'm not about to preach to nobody.
That's a
I
fact.
ain't that
That's a
type
fact.
of dude.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
fact.
I read up on all religions. That's why I say if you don't have a purpose for yourself, it start with you. You know what I'm saying? It start with that person. If you after money, that's what you need to be real with. If you just want somebody because you don't want to be by yourself, then that's what you need to be real with.
Mm-hmm.
Is when you get to mixing it and you get to try to play God in a sense. If you can get what I'm saying. You out here doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what's right, but you just try to tweak it. You tell yourself, oh, it ain't that bad. I can it ain't gonna work. And that's what we fucking up at. We trying to make our own recipe when it's already done.
And we trying to be like something that we ain't as well. We trying to be
Exactly.
everything what we see.
Exactly. Exactly.
For real.
You feel like I feel like the more people are looking for it's like more people are looking for that material than they are for the spirit nowadays. Like there's more weight put on the material for the male. Like you said, with the light bill or with this or with that. Now, the only person that ever paid a bill for me, aside from two bills from the dude I was with for all them years, is my best friend. Like I've never had a dude pay my bills. That's never been a priority for me. I feel like I've always my dad and my stepmom taught me like you go out there, you don't need a man for nothing. And that's kind of a toxic way to think, but at the same time it made me not like the rest. It made me not use it made me not need, you know what I'm saying? Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry. No, I'm
spill it.
sorry.
He's trying to hold it
I'm
back.
sorry. I'm laughing because this nigga, yo, this nigga's crazy, right? And I respect the hustle. I respect the whatever you want to call it. But so I'm on Facebook one day, and this motherfucker building porches and fucking decks and Then the motherfucker goes, "Yeah, I'm about to do my own tune up on my car, right?" And Hogan said, "Oh, I think I dropped something down somewhere, and I don't know where it's." I dropped. You dropped something in that Honda in the engine. You dropped something in there. You was like, "I don't know how to get it out," and I'm like, "That's why women ain't supposed to be working on cars."
Oh man.
You talk about me because this show sound like me, or you talk about
you,
him?
you.
That car's still sitting out there too. Ain't got no water pump on it.
Hey, bro. You want to know what's so bad? Never got a post. It was like, yeah, strong woman. Changed my own brakes. Yeah, built a deck. Yeah, and then the next one was like, I don't know what to do, y'all. I think I dropped the spark plug or some shit in the engine, and I can't get it out. I don't know, and I'm just like, mm,
I think
mm.
that was what I was changing one of the sensors on my car. I was trying to
Yep,
figure
yep,
out what's wrong.
yep.
For sure, that was a struggle, man, and that made me realize, like, I don't need no man, but I want one. And that's one thing I'll give my ex credit for is like each person that you're with, they make you realize things that it's like I need that in a relationship. I will never ever set us or never ever settle for somebody that doesn't cut the grass, but I gotta tell her to take trash out because I didn't have to do that with my ex. Like he did shit as a man. Now he ain't paying no doggone bills. He was bringing home food from the food shelter.
But what about the guys that I seen this is a good one. What about the guys that they might not cut the grass, but they're gonna pay somebody to cut the grass?
There ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying that, like, I have sons. I have to think
Mhm.
about my grandchildren. I have to think about what it is that they're learning from the person that I'm with. What is it that you're bringing to the table? Not just for me. When you're dealing with a woman, and I'm kind of, I don't have no baby daddy drama. My dude's been deported. Their father been deported since they was 1 and 2 years old. So I really have to look at somebody like, okay, what is it that you're going to be instilling in my sons? And I know that they learned, how to build a computer from him and cut the lawn. And there's certain things that a man does. And, even just friends, because I don't keep men like that. Especially not around my sons. I got person I've been dealing with for the last year. They probably met twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So really have to
it,
look at that. And I don't feel like men are looking at that from a woman's, for their children. They're looking at, okay, what is that woman bringing to the table? That stepmom, what is she bringing to the table? At the end of the day, are they able to see what love between two individuals should look like? And that is what you should bring to the table. Um, I don't want them to have anything less than that. And that's the one thing I think that as much as I've done well to deprive them of seeing multiple men and stuff like that, I've deprived them of that ability to know, like, this is how you cater to a woman. This is how you love a woman. This is to fulfill a woman.
so do you know why? Do you know why I left Alabama?
Shit, the struggle was real.
Nah, it really wasn't.
What? A woman?
It's something me and Small World got in common. This is a man thing, and this is something for you to tap in on too. Is that when you're the woman that you made a kid with can no longer be a mother. Uh,
You bleeped out. You said when the woman you had a kid with could no longer be a mother, and you bleeped out.
you got to step up, and you got to be like you could be a mother and a father at the same time. If the father's not around, you got to, and that's why I left because she could no longer take care of my daughters that I have with me right now. You know what I'm saying? And Small World said, like, I feel like we all got God in us. I'm a God, he's a God, you a goddess. I believe in shit like that. Like we all got a piece of that
Definitely.
life.
We
You
got
know
a
what
Most of these people got a piece, got a chunk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like, too personal, but he know where I'm going with this. Just like my ex-wife, our endeavors. It's like women move from one place to another or want to drive a nice car because they see this other woman driving a nice car, wearing red bottoms, or got the Prada bag and stuff like that. You
That's
know,
woman ain't got no foundation. They wasn't built in a family to teach them
but
what a
check it.
woman was.
But check it though, right? So for me as a man, right, any woman that is in my life came into my life, and I'm sure Small World agree. We don't look at, and no offense to you, we don't look at the woman to deal with our baggage. No offense.
What do you
We
mean?
got we got this. So I don't need a woman to be a mother to my kids and teach my daughters. I got daughters. I don't need a mother for them. They already got one, and
Learn to be a woman without a mother.
but I don't want nothing. I'm a hold it down.
But you can't teach her no more than, and that's what I ran into with my sons being super independent. How I
Mhm,
am
mhm.
is I can teach them what I think a man should be, but I've never experienced the journey that it takes to go from boy to man. So I can't teach them that. And it's the same thing. You could teach her what you think a woman should be, but you can't show her with her own eyes what that journey looks like.
I'm about to hit you over the head with a mallet right now.
Ooh,
This about to be real. Yeah, this about to be real. So I need you to hear me very clearly. This generation isn't of ours. Generation is way smarter, faster. They brains click like this. No matter what you show them, they gonna do it they way, one way or another. All you can do is be there with the band-aids and the Vaseline on some old school shit. They heal it up and say, hey, what have you learned? Because they gonna do, you could teach them, you could tell them whatever. They still gonna do it their
tell them
own way.
different things.
But they're gonna do it their own way.
Definitely.
Right. I see my son two times a month. Okay. I don't when I'm with him, I talk to the boy, and when I say I talk to him, that's my little brother. Sometimes I get it messed up because he feels like my little brother, and I'm like, this is my son, but he's so cool, like his dad, and I'm like, bro, you just too cool, bro. Like, it's just kind of like, and I already know Small World, like Houston. I know you see a lot of him, and you know what I'm saying. You
Mhm.
and him, you see it.
Mhm.
So it's like sometimes, like now, if we're gonna go old school, touching the stove. I don't know about the girls, but the boys know the touching the stove theory. You got to let them touch the stove one time on their own to know it's hot. You could tell them it's hot, but they gonna
Mhm.
touch it anyway. They don't care. They gonna touch that thing. Ooh, and they touch it again. Oh, you a bad motherfucker. You all right? You a little different. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Same thing go with the girls. And I share my personal. None of my daughters are, except the baby. None of my daughters are virgins. Okay. Amariana's 15. She about to be 16 in May. Sarai will be 20 in September.
Dang, you old.
I told them from when they was younger, leave the boys alone. Leave them alone. Woo, 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 right? They was 8, 9 years old. I've been in their life forever. Yeah, dad. Yeah, dad. Took for me to find out. Yeah, I went crazy. I lost my mind a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. But now you talk to them, and they be like, Dad, I'm about to bag. I'm about to bag, Dad. I need this money. These little dudes, I don't know what they think they doing or who they talking. But point of the story is it took for them to go through it by themselves. We could guide them as best as possible, but we can't really tell them nothing. We just gotta let them do and be. Now I'm not letting them run outside at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning, being outside. No, we not doing that. We got rules and regulations, goddamn. But at the same time, how we grew up, because you from the West Coast, that Southern shit, you feel me? You know when it kind of, Small World, that Southern shit, they crack the whip.
Mm-hmm.
They crack that whip. It
Quick.
ain't no, yeah, real quick. Today, you got to kind of give a little bit of leeway for them to hang themselves. Just a little bit, and let them learn on their own. That's the transition. We can't we can't groom our kids to how we grew up. We have to get, if you don't, what I'm trying to say, if you don't evolve, you don't survive. You got to evolve within time. So for any man that come into your boy's life, or any woman that come into my girl's life, as women have and are, they still are who they are. They're their mother's kids. They're always gonna be their mama kids. Ain't nothing gonna change. And I'm their daddy, but I can't change that. Like you said, I'm not a female, so we're not talking about no periods or you got your menstrual cycle, nigga. What you going through? Like, no, I don't know nothing about that. I could get with you. I could listen to you, but at the same time, the best thing we could do is for our boys, and even for our boys, like me and Small World, we both have a boy apiece. We can't tell these little niggas nothing. He
Mm-mm.
nothing.
You're not giving yourself enough credit
Hmm.
because you're present, whether you're present twice a month or whatever the case may be. Um, you're present. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
naturally, they may not listen to you off jump, but that verse where it's like, raise a child up in the way that they should go and it should not depart from them, that doesn't mean they're going to listen to you and follow your ways. They're going to follow their ass. They ain't going to listen. They're going to go their own route. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, they're going to realize the difference between you and the average. And so their standards, after they fall on their ass, are going to adjust to what it is that they've seen. Now, if you've chosen a woman that is not, you know what I'm saying, up to par, then at some point in time, she's going to need to have an auntie, a grandma, whoever it is, in order to be able to see for her own eyes what it is, or her standards are going to be a combination of what dad said and what the world says about what it is to be a female, or the same thing with the male. I can sit there and tell my sons, be faithful, be this, be that. And I've granted, like, I've raised them good. You know what I'm saying? I asked them one time, like, if at the time me and my ex were together, I was like, if he asked what my code was for my phone, because my kids got my code in my phone, at least one.
Mhm.
It's not the other one. And I was like, if he asked, would you give it to him? If he was like, I think your mama cheating, he was like, yeah, because you shouldn't be cheating anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go into why that was not okay. But you guys are having that man or having that woman in their life that actually gives them that visual of what it is what it is that's going to fall back on. Now I have that. I have a family full of real women. So I could have went out there and been a hoe and did whatever I did, but at the end of the day, I had a definition of what a real woman was. And a lot of our youth today are missing that. And so when they're choosing somebody, they're choosing a woman based on what they think a woman is, not what they want their daughters to be. And the same thing with a man. It's like, I'm choosing a man because he pays my bills or he does this or he does that. But it's not, how do I want my daughters to be loved? How do I want my sons to love a woman?
But California, right? Like, and this is where, like, so I'm in Connecticut. So I'm scared for my son, for an example, right?
Rightfully so.
And and I'm scared for him for different reasons. So my son turned 15, 16. It's not like when my pop was growing up. When I was growing up with my pop, I remember niggas tried to jump me. And no, niggas jumped me, and I went in my daddy's room and got his 38 special. I remember it was a chrome wood handle 38. I brought that motherfucker outside and I was waving that bitch in there, and everybody ran. They told on me. Everybody. They ain't go to the police, but they told my daddy. He was outside yesterday with a gun, and my daddy was like, "Boy, you had a gun? You touched my gun?" And I was like, I ain't touch your gun, because I knew what he was gonna do to me today. And my son's 16. I put the gun in his pocket. That's what I'm trying to say. I give him the gun because it's a lot of young niggas out here today, 13, 14, 15. They got them. And I don't want my son out here. When I was growing up, you feel me? Like you know, it was a difference. Like you ain't really needed unless you was in some shit today. You need that motherfucker. Where I'm at, you need it. So that's why I say my parental advice is a little chopped and screwed because a lot of parents will look at me like, "What? You would do that?" And I'm like, "Nah. If you knew the geographic of where I'm at and where I was born, you need that. He
But
gonna need that."
my dad, you taught him when to use it and not to use it. You're not having him run off like the rest of these little dudes, not having no common sense, trying to base their masculinity off of what they got in their pocket. And that's the difference. Is he's
I
facing,
I
you
can
know,
agree and
probably
disagree.
wiser about when to pull it out.
Nah, because my daddy said the bigger your gun, the less you gotta shoot it. That's first. So ain't no you pull that motherfucker out, you gotta use it. That bitch too big.
And
That's
that's
how my daddy raised me. But the emotions, that's why I'm scared for him because the emotions that I have, like I'm crazy. He's gonna be crazier than I am. And yeah, he gonna get in a lot of times. Now here, hindsight 2020. Now y'all follow me. It's all behind the female. That's what I do tell my son. You're gonna get into some shit, and it's gonna be behind the female. 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna be because somebody punched you in your face or stole some money from you. It's because it's gonna be either somebody fucked your bitch, they hit your girl like physically or some shit, or you outside, getting active and some shit go down. But it 9 times out of 10 is gonna be behind a female for my son.
and how you teach him to respond to that. Keep it in his pocket or pull it out.
Pull that motherfucker out, cause I'd rather you
You
be in.
know, worth that. That's
I
nonsense. You already know
listen,
what the
listen,
most
listen, listen,
are.
listen. Two sides to the gun. I've been on both of them. I'd rather my son be in jail than be dead. Like my years of previous. He know. Small world know. I'm a gangster. I, I, I'm with it all.
I'm
I'm with
glad
it
I.
all. Yeah, I'm with it all. So I'd rather my son be in jail than be dead. And I mean that.
Why
I
he
wouldn't want him.
got
I
though?
don't want him to go to jail, but I don't want him to be dead neither. So pick a side. Pick a side. You
Why
want your son? You got two boys.
already know what the game is and what's set up for him and what's going to be his downfall, then why teach him to pull that out for anything less than his life?
The mission is getting him out of his environment. That's the mission. Getting him
Fact.
out that environment. You feel what I'm saying? But that's a fight between me and his mama. She brought him back here, and he knows. Small world know his mama. He know his mama. We all live what 20 minutes away from each other. Not
Mm-hmm.
even 15 minutes away from each other. And she brought my boy back here. So she don't want him to leave. She want him to be here.
Does she want him to be that though?
The boy got hair just like me. He got locks. The boy looked just like me. It's inevitable.
But there's two sides to you, your flesh and your spirit. So you had to grow up in this world in order to make sure that you survived. You know what I'm saying? You had to have that streak to you. But at the same time, since then, you've grown enough to have that spirit about you because that's you know what I'm saying? That's what we deal on. So how are you making sure that he understands like the rest of this world is mad and crazy and most of them are going to be dealing off of ego? Make sure you don't move an ego. And if you pulling this out, like you said, let it be for a reason and don't pull it out for no reason.
No, you pull it, you gotta let it go.
Huh?
If he pull it, you gotta let it go. If you show it, you blow it. That's what my daddy say.
Have you given him that weight of what that carries.
He seen me go through it personally.
How do you give a man that though? How do you give a boy that? Because it's like y'all masculinity, I won't say it's so fragile, but most masculinity is built on a shaky foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about as far as the men trying to go take their homeboys out and do all this stuff. Like you guys are more loyal to your boys, who more likely to fuck your bitch. Excuse my language, but your boy is more likely to, you know what I'm saying, do something trifling to you. So how do you make sure that they not filled with that toxic masculinity, or and how you make sure that some dumb chick that ain't raised by chicks that ain't got no sense are going to be their downfall? How are you preparing him for that?
We can't prepare for that because, as I just said, the generations that we grown into, luckily, they got sisters. Like, once again, me and Small World, we got one son and they got sisters. So I don't know about him, but I'm praying that the sisters hold it down. And yeah, I'm praying the sisters hold it down and show them.
Oh, man.
That's all we could do. We
Small
can't
world,
do.
you've been real quiet. This is good.
Yeah, I was listening. Yeah, I was listening to but yeah, as far as me, when my daughters first came, I set them both down. I looked them dead in the eyes. I say, I don't know nothing about this, but we're gonna get through it. Just let me know. I ain't try to, you know, never tried to replace their mom. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew I couldn't do it. I just stayed me. So every time they had a problem, I get on the phone, hit my mom's up. Uh, and then when I met my wife, that's why I thank God for her. Cause I wasn't even looking for nobody at that point. After I went through all that, I was like, yo, I'm gonna just chill, stack my bread, and do what I gotta do. But things happen, and well, now I got her. It's like they got that balance. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, you got your grandma. You got an example of, okay, this how I move, this how I talk, this how I act, this what I need to go for. So with them, I give them a little bit more freedom, if you will, because I don't expect them to come talk to me because they got people. They got a chain of command they can go to. And that's how it is. My moms and them, they call me and tell me what's going on. And I just be like, okay, everything good? They be like, yeah. You need anything for me? No. All right. And I just focus on my son. You
That's that
know,
I'm talking about.
yeah, I just focus on my son, really. hmm Now, when they need me, I step in and be like, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, they go to their stepmom, grandma, and auntie.
And that's the same thing
Oh,
with your son. Like he's
hmm
be able to see the difference between you and the rest of the regular dads out there that ain't got it upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like he's able to
hmm
do that, whether he goes down this road or that road or whatever, trying to find his himself and trying to define his own, masculinity. At the end of the day, it's not going to depart from them who you are and what you are. And that goes for your daughters and that goes for your sons. So then this goes back to like me and Azar is like, how do you, unless you're providing that wife, unless I'm providing that husband, without the grandparents, like how are we providing for our children to be able to know what it is to be a male or to be a female without those examples? That's our job. We're the ones that deprive them of that
do
based on,
you have that chain of command?
huh?
Do you have that chain of command as he just spoke of?
I don't. And that's the thing. Like I've raised my kids me.
Hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? Like you came around, you know what I'm saying? So they saw an example of, you know what I'm saying? Like I bring my homeboys around and
Hmm.
I've had like older grandpa figures that have come around. So they get a very good, I made sure, even though I've deprived them of that relationship aspect, I've given them an example of what not to be and what to be because I ain't had them around nothing that ain't kosher. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they're gonna have to go out in that world, and nothing I can prepare them for. I can't prepare them for what it is that they're gonna face in the streets outside of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've done an injustice to them. I don't want to put them back in the hood. Like, we came from San Bernardino. We had gunshots the first time. The first day we moved in, there was fights, and I had to past fights in order to get into my gate of the apartments we moved into. You know what I'm saying? But they don't remember that because they've been out here long enough. But best believe when I'm looking for a mate, I'm not looking for something that is of this world, because I know I'm not of this world. I think my sons are going to go out there and they may not know how to love a woman correctly, but they're going to know how to choose them correctly because they've seen what their mom is and who their mom is. Right now, they don't realize it. They don't realize mom's different. They're going to go out there and they're going to find out. But I don't know how to prepare them for that. And I don't know how to prepare them for, like, yo, it don't matter what shoes you got on your feet. Like, this is slave mentality. I don't know how to prepare them for that, because I can tell them that all day, but I'm not a man. At the end of the day, they're going to be the ones, if they get teased and they ain't got the right shoes or their hair ain't lined up or whatever the case may be. That's what they're going to have to deal with. I can't prepare them for that without another half. No more so than you can prepare them for, your daughters without a proper mother of what it is that they look like. Now, if they got grandma, auntie, that's fine. But how are they going to know what it is to be loved by a man if they've never seen their father properly love a woman?
I was just about to say, it's beautiful for Small World because that's what me and him, we like yin and yang. There is no chain of command. I am the chain of command. I
Same.
am that. You feel me? Like I'm all that. Like my mama's a deadbeat. My father's dead. You feel me? Like their uncles, my brothers. Like, I got 7 brothers and 4 sisters.
Damn.
And you met my sister, Daywan's mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, she do her own thing. I just had a conversation with her, and I'm like, yo, you got nieces over here that yo, I need some help. Everybody got their own thing going on. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I have no expectations. So it's just like it's me. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, there's Winter's mom, my youngest, her mom. She's from a different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I gotta you gotta get it how you get it. And if my son gonna be raised in this environment, once again, and I stand on everything, and hopefully nobody judges me, which I've lost a lot of friends behind it. I ain't gonna hold you. Um, I tell motherfuckers, I'm gonna raise my son. Your son not gonna kill my son. My son gonna kill your son before he even know it. And that's just how it happens. It's like LA out this motherfucker. It is what it is. Like, and I don't want, and I teach my daughters the same way. And I tell a lot of people, when it come behind my daughters, I'ma do that, nigga. I'm not even gonna let my son do that. Man, you better get your black dress ready, because if it come behind my daughter, oh, you going? And I'm gonna do the time. I'm not even gonna let my son get involved because he's too young. He got a bright future ahead of himself. So everything that he's seen me, like, even when he see me go to jail, even my daughters, like, they see me go to jail, like, it was just like, yo, like, what's, like, dad, we don't want to be here. And I'm like, nigga, like, you gotta let me get it together. You know what I'm saying? Let me do it. That's why I went for my CDL, and I got my CDL or whatever to try to speed the process up, and try to make a little bit more money, and do stuff like that. But unfortunately, culturally, as I was telling my probation officer today, the environment that we're raised in predicts your outcome of your kids, everything. So down south, as you said, being in San Bernardino, can only imagine. You was out here, you feel,
Nice.
you feel me? Being out here, Connecticut, New York, Jersey, same, similar to the same shit.
Yep.
It's like that's why everybody's going down south. Everybody going down south. And my boy, know he from Gastonia. He from the country.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me?
I'm in the country now. I ain't worried about shit out here, bro. I'm chilling. You need that peace and quiet, man. Something about it. Something about it.
That's what I've been blessed with too, is just like realizing the difference culturally speaking, coming from California to the South. Is like there's things that I feel like I haven't prepared my sons for the real world because it's so fucking sheltered down here. You know what I'm saying? Like the toxic masculinity is more so at a minimum than you will go
It
at
is.
in Connecticut. Their
You can
threat
find
to
it though. Go to Birmingham, goddamn. Go to Birmingham.
Oh
You can
yeah,
find
yeah,
it.
I,
don't get it twisted though. Yeah, please don't get it twisted. Please don't do that.
but that's what I'm
Ooh-wee.
talking about too. Is like, back when they was little, they'd be able to look at somebody at like 4 years old and be like, "Yeah, he on crack." But now, you know what I'm saying? They've been so far removed and so long removed. It's like you not gonna know what it is when you step outside of the South to be able to define your masculinity, especially as a black male. Like I said, my kids are half African, not fucking African American. They have African.
So look, I got a story. This one for the books right here. We recording this one for the books. This on the books too. Another reason God called me, like I left out of Alabama for not only my kids, but I was moving around. I was like I was moving around, dating and messing around, and I met this one girl, and she was cool as hell. And this is why I genuinely love the South, and I mean that with all my body, my spirit, my soul. And I had a couple dates with this girl. She invited me over, and day one was like, "Yo," he was like, "Yo, he was like, yo, you want to go out?" Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, "Nah." He going to the club. I'm gonna go over there. This seemed a little safer. I'm gonna go. Old girl. She said she cooked some food. So I'm gonna go get some food. Check this out. This situation. He's like, "All right." I go over there. I'm chilling. I hear some shit in the back room. And I think, where was the fuck was I at? I was in fucking, I think I was in Huntsville. It was like, no, it was Decatur. I was in Decatur. And I heard some movement in the back room. And I'm like, "Yo, you say you ain't got no kids, right?" She like, "Nah, I ain't got no kids." I'm like, "All right, cool." The back room. I say, "Yo, I heard something." She said, "Nah, are you okay?" I said, "All right, I need to use the bathroom because you're making me nervous." So I go to the bathroom. I come back from the bathroom. I walk by a closet. I heard some movement again, but it was closer because I was in the back room. Like, you had to go to the back to go to the bathroom. And so, hey, yo, small world, man. It was like God, bro. I swear. I just bought a 9 millimeter, bro. 17 rounds in that motherfucker with a beam on it. Legal too, fresh.
Oh man.
Fresh out the box.
Oh shit.
I'm giddy as hell. I'm happy. I'm like, oh yeah, I got some shit. So man, I sit on the couch. She's like, "Yo, why you sitting all the way over there?" I'm like, "Yo, I don't feel comfortable." She's like, "What you mean? Like it's just me and you?" Yo, that up north mentality hit. I pulled that shit out. Like, who in here? She like, "Yo, you tweaking. You tweaking. Get the fuck out my house." I said, "Nah, nigga, who in the fucking back? You gonna walk me to the back." Go to the back. She like, "Yo, you bugging." Open up her room door. Ain't nobody in the room. Woo. Walk right past the closet that I walked past to go to the bathroom. And something just hit me. And I stopped. I see her open up the closet. She like, "No, you going through my stuff. You invading my privacy." Open up the fucking closet. Yo, she opened up the closet. It's three niggas in the closet. Niggas had some long shit. I'm talking some goddamn 7'6" 2'5'5" 6" shit.
All the
Some
area.
big boy shit. Man, I said, I upped it on the niggas. I said, "Yo, don't nobody fucking move, nigga." I said, "I'm going home." She like, "Yo, you tripping, you tripping." I ain't no woman beater or nothing like that. I grabbed that bitch by the back of her neck and shoved her ass in the fucking closet with them niggas. One of the niggas wanted to play Captain Hero. He got up, grabbed the gun. What? Boom, 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 boom. Shot 3 of them. She ain't get hit. All of them niggas got hit. And I called the police and I waited for the police. This is why I love Alabama, y'all. Love Alabama. Waited for the police. Police came, showed them my bill of sale for the gun. I bought it legally. Everything. Them niggas went to jail. I went home. And I knew I gotta get the fuck out of here because I was finna I was finna kill everybody in that motherfucker. And whether I got away with it or not, that shit would have been on my spirit and my soul. I'd have had to live with that. You feel me? But at the end of the day, they lived. It was minor injuries. I ain't headshot nobody or no chest shots or nothing like that. But in the state of Alabama, it's an open carry state, and they found them guns that them boys had, and they seen everything that happened, and they let me go home. Within 3 months, the case was thrown out.
They had them white boys, that would have been a whole nother story.
Shit, they would have been dead.
Nah.
Yeah, you might as well kill them. Your ass go, bro. You might as well smoke it. Yeah.
Nah,
down here though.
Alabama, they had, if you seen the guns that they had, yo, they even the cops was like, yo, what the fuck you doing with guns like that in an apartment? In a closet? Them guns could stop a car.
What
Real
they
shit.
trying to get out of you? How much money did they think you had in your pocket?
What you say? Pretty boy? I don't know. Driving an Acura, all this extra shit. Yo, Smallworld, you remember the black act? The black act?
Yeah, that's why I say you definitely gotta be careful down here. That's how they get you down here. That's how they get you.
Yeah. So no, that's why I said, like, how can you raise your kids? Like, that's how now I raise my son with the same mentality. You better be caught with it than without it. Don't get caught without it. I'm sorry. I don't want to cry, bro.
Then when to use it and not to use it, because I feel like the lesser of a man is going to be more easily provoked. He's not going to value your life and he's not going to value his life. And so you got to be prepared for that. But at the same time, it's like you also got to know, like, they'll use a chick for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared for what they're going to have you set up in order to not fall victim to it. Like, you got to be ready for it. Now, if there ain't nobody teaching you, like, hey, this is A and this is B, then you're going to have to figure out the whole damn alphabet by yourself.
I'm just telling you, like, that's why, like, my upbringing, I've been like this forever. Ever since I met this brother, I've been like this. And, like, you know, I'm cool as shit. And them niggas in North Carolina, they be like, I'm crazy. They're like, yo, why he so aggressive? He's so woo, 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 And I'm like, nigga, if you knew, nigga,
what the real world look like.
Yeah, like, this ain't no play. I ain't playing with none of you niggas. Because if you go to Bragg Street in North Carolina and Raleigh, you go out that way, them boys ain't playing with you. Them boys, they get busy. Them boys out there get busy. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where you at, it's like perfect because where your boys is at, I feel like it's the perfect nesting ground for when they ready to spread their wings. Now, when you spread your wings, hey, it's a lot of dark shit out there. It's a lot of dark shit out there.
I'm worried about they ain't gonna be ready for the real world.
They're gonna be ready. It's instinct. See, that's what women don't realize. A real fighter doesn't know that he's a fighter until he get put in a position to fight.
I made sure mine wrestling and taekwondo. Fuck with me.
Nah, but that shit cool until you get put. You know how niggas be like, yeah, I'm gonna hit him with the right hook, and then I'm gonna go. Nah, nigga.
You don't know how me tell
Yeah,
you.
it ain't happening. Yeah, it ain't happening like
I had
that,
an
bro.
old white man teach mine how to handle a gun, and they handle all types of motherfucking guns.
I just told my homies and shit. They like, oh, you ever shot at somebody? I said, nigga, I was in the South. I shoot at deer and shit, motherfucker. I shoot at shit that move. You niggas, you niggas,
I was just telling my people
Hey,
that
word up.
down south they do shit that in California we call white people shit. I ain't never seen a black person stick their fist in a hole in the lake to catch a motherfucking catfish. Until I
Hey,
moved
pull
to
it,
the south.
motherfucker.
Like
Hey, pull it up straight out too.
riding dirt bikes, riding four-wheelers, like riding horses. Like it's things that black people in the city can't afford when you step out of the South. You know what I'm saying? As a whole, of course, you got motherfuckers that got their own shit, but
Yeah,
as a whole, they call that shit white people shit because that's all, you know, that's the only people who could afford that shit. So I'm
right.
kind of blessed that, you know, I've expanded their minds to where they're not just, you know, concrete jungle. But at the same time, it's like I'm worried about when they hit that concrete jungle, how are they going to react? I'm hoping that it feels foreign to them instead of enticing to them because that's now how they're going to try and
Oh,
define.
it's enticing. Cause when I shot them three niggas, I was on whatever. After that, I'm looking around like, who? What?
Who
What you
wants
say to me? Yeah, what you say to me? You said what? I'm a what?
Oh
Yo,
shit.
yo, when I first got back here and I was out, man, they got this shit called Ferry Street, and these dudes were trying to fuck with me. You know, it's the project type shit. These niggas, man, I was outside like a real country nigga. No socks, no shoes, no shirt, with the gun out, broad daylight,
Mm-hmm.
walking up and down this shit, looking for motherfuckers. Like, where you at? I walk into the bodega. The Spanish nigga done dropped the mop. Looked at me. I said, no, 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 Poppy. No, Poppy. I'm not looking
to?
for you. You see any Negros? He said, no, 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 no. I said, okay, you cool. You cool. He said, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, nigga, I'm out of here. So it's a culture shock. It's definitely a culture shock. And that's why I entice all my homeboys from up here to go down south because I'm like, bro, if you go down south, it's so peaceful. You could think you ain't got it. I brought my homeboy up here from yo Small World. You remember my boy that used to did all my tattoos and shit from Durham? The little short light skinned dude that
Yeah.
worked with me at Duke. I,
Mm-hmm.
I I brought him out here and he said, yo, Odell. He said, yo, I know why you always on edge. All these fucking people, nigga. Everybody walking around with a fucking attitude, and it's like 1,000 people walking to the corner store. It's like you can't get away from nobody. He went right back home. He said, I ain't never coming back here again.
Oh shit.
Never coming back here again.
But people down here are slower too. So it's like, especially coming from a female, when you looking at your options, it really sucks because yeah, they're more grown men that go to church without their grandmother or their mother. Like there's a lot more people that aren't about that life. But at the same time, it's like their minds are this fucking little. Like they
Well,
don't outside of
you
the
you
box.
diff
There's
you
no elevation
different.
beyond
You
it.
different. You're different. So I'm not gonna say that this is gonna entice, but it's about the money and it's about the street life out here. It's what kind of car you driving, how much money you got. I could bring you to a homie event and it's 1,000 niggas around me that'll kill everybody. And females get real enticed by that street stuff because that's what you see on TV.
That's so sick to me. Like
Yeah,
I
that's what you see.
somebody that's how they define their masculinity, and you are so disqualified. So disqualified.
But that's San Bernardino, Compton. That's that life. That's
Facts.
that's that
No
life.
matter where you go, that's where it is. But
Yeah, that's
at the
that
same
life.
time, it's like, how does somebody that's not of that, how does somebody like me find a potential mate? Because I run into it like you know who I am and how I am. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
find the God in you and I'm gonna elevate you to that God status. You know what I'm saying? As a friend, as a man, as a whatever it is, that's what we gonna deal on. I don't care what you deal with out in the world. But then you deal with somebody on that level, they see the God in themselves, they elevate to that for a little bit, but they can't hold it because at the end of the day, they still wanting the flashy car. They still want to go to the strip club and make sure their boys see them throw money, or, you know what I'm saying, take them to the mall and make sure you living for everybody else. And to me, that is like making you are this small in my mind and in my
But
eye because I,
it goes back to culture. A small world. What it's like in Gastonia growing up. What it's like. What's Gastonia like? That's outside of Charlotte, by the way. That's right
yeah,
outside of
yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah. I said it was like half and half. It was like always divided. So my years in school, it was like either this side or that side. And whatever, the reason I say this side, it could be numerous of how you feel is over here. It wasn't no middle street, you know what I'm saying? In other words. So the
what you mean,
route.
square or you street?
Yeah, it's just one or the other. The options was very few. You either got a warehouse job or you hit the street. It ain't a lot out there. So through school, like I said, I grew up around the old folks, so I come to the country. So I was away from a lot of the bullshit. I was out here in the country, down getting corn and shit in the field with my aunties. You know what I'm saying? So when I was in school, it was like that street shit. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I
Did it
ain't used to it.
foreign?
Did it who?
Did it feel foreign to you, or did you relate to it?
Oh no, I related to it because I still had cousins. I still had family. My dad's side of the family, that's what they did. My mom's side of the family was in the country. So when I was home, I was around my pop side. I just didn't have the time to really like get into it. You get what I'm saying? I had that break. So every time I leave and come back, I see some shit. I be like, damn, yo. Like, that's all y'all did, and I done did all this shit. And then I had to sit back and think, like, everybody don't got an escape.
Mm-mm. Not everybody got the country.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have that certain escape. And that's why like I relate to pretty much anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Which one
So
do you
that's how it was for me.
like when you decided you grew up and that was your choice of this
Mm-hmm.
and that I'm gonna be? Which one did you choose?
At first I chose the street. You gotta see what's out there. Like even though I knew what was out there, I still went out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when I got into my shit that I got into.
But
Now
what
that I'm back,
raised ain't depart from you.
mm-hmm, I was like, damn, how I fuck up. And then I was like, man, damn. Bounce back out to the country. I'm cool now. You know what I'm saying? So
Now you mix like me.
yeah, that's it.
And that's why I feel bad for a lot of people like where I'm at because I had a cop tell me, like I had a cop like he was just like, yo, it's a dark cloud, tri-state, New York, Jersey, Connecticut, all the way up to Boston even, down to Philly, DMV. He like, yo, it's a cloud. It's a dark cloud. And a lot of good people, as you speak of, Genesis, you get mixed up. And so that's like, let's say for an example, you up here, your sons, they getting older, big guys. They not little guys no more. They big guys.
Oh,
And they dating this girl, right? And the girl pull a knife out on your son. And you right there in the moment. It's split second in the moment. This ain't
I
nothing to
feel
think
like
about.
you as a dad, I'm gonna take that rap.
See what I'm saying? Now, see, and you not even that type of person.
You
Now
don't know
you are.
who I
Now,
am.
no, listen, listen,
Always
listen, listen, listen,
mentality.
listen, listen. I'm going somewhere. You are that type of person now. At that point, from that moment, you become that type of person,
Facts.
and you can't take it back. You got to take the ride now. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel bad for a lot of my homies because a lot of people can't get out. Like he said, a lot of people don't have the South. Like a lot of people don't have that option to go this way or go that way.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Now,
I
got a grandma you can send them to.
if yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if it wasn't for here, I wouldn't know how to bust down and break down heroin and sell heroin and how to spot a motherfucker that do heroin. Dog food. I wouldn't know none of that. I know what it looked like now. I know, and if it, anything resort, I'm like, I was just going in the bodega the other day, and I walk in, and this old man's at the ATM machine. This motherfucker was pulling hundreds out the ATM machine, and we locked eyes, and it was like one of the moments, like we talking kinetically, but we ain't talking, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money, and he looking at me like, please. Just let me. I just want to go home. Please don't bother me. And I had to talk to myself like, come on, C's, let's go, let's go. Like, nope, we going. Let's use the EBT card, nigga. Let's go get a couple juices and do what we doing and go. Because the second thought of my nature was, I'll take all of this nigga money. That's gone. Let me get that. Matter of fact, I might leave you with a couple $100. Let me get that though. I need all of that. And that's the natural thought process out here.
But you got that balance enough to be able to talk yourself out of it. Not everybody got that. It's a
That
natural.
shit like crack. It's like crack though. How many crackheads you pull a rock out and be like, yo man, I got this fire. That nigga looking at you like he starts shaking and shit like
Itching and shit. Yeah.
yo, it's the same shit. So it's like I don't. That's why I tell people I was born here, but I spent only 8, 9 years out of my life in Connecticut. I spent the rest of my life down south. So that's why I tell folks, I'm like, I want to go home. And niggas like, you home, nigga? And I'm like, no, I'm still the only nigga out here still that sound country as hell. Niggas like, yo, you still country as shit. And I'm like, cause I don't belong here, nigga. Like, I need to go. I need to, cause bruh, I don't belong out here. My son, my kids, I don't want, yo, let me tell y'all, I took my daughter's phone. This is something Genesis you'll never go through because you got boys.
Rock.
I took my daughter's phone. Some little nigga was calling, right? I pick up the phone. This nigga waving the beam around. He waving the gun around with a beam on it in the phone. I'm like, nah. Yo, hold up. I don't put the homies on the line. Yo, pull your shit out. Show niggas what's going on. Hold on. Mind you, I'm grabbing my shit too out the closet. Like, yo, nigga, I got my shit propped up. Like, yeah, nigga, this is what we working with. Niggas like, yo, you got some big shit, homie. I'm not your fucking homie, nigga. I'm 30-some years old. Nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? Little 15, 14-year-old ass nigga. We going to hell out this motherfucker.
But how do you find now when it comes down to the woman that you're gonna eventually choose one day when you get old? How does she access that God in you, that Southern in you, instead of that street in you? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that something you got to do within yourself, or is that something that she's able to bring out in you and inspire in you?
That's something that's got to be dealt with because that's the other side I was going to be there. That's called protection.
I don't know, because again, kind of a different.
Women struggle with that. See how you looking up at the sky? Women struggle with that. Women struggle with that.
It is because it's like I know it's in there, and I think I'm just struggling because the last person that I was with is just like he's definitely got that God in him, but he's also definitely got that street.
Look at this nigga right here. He's so calm. You don't think if you do something to touch his family or his kids, that man gonna turn into a whole goddamn psychopath?
Everybody,
I feel bad for anybody. I pray for everybody.
But what the hell? I shouldn't even be asking.
No.
Get out of here, Zach. I should be talking to Smallworld. Smallworld, how your wife get God out of you, okay? Instead of out of you.
He's not. And I'm gonna say before he answered, this nigga been cool like this. He's never switched. He's been like this forever. He's never switched up. He's been like this for fucking ever. But go ahead, bro. Talk your shit.
It's a choice you got to make.
Did she make that choice, or had you already made the decision before you met her? Like, did she?
No, I'll say I was on the road to changing.
Okay.
You know, because at that point I had started realizing, like, okay, she really want to play these games. Like, I was working and getting paychecks, and I look at my stub. I used to have to go outside my job before I lose my job, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I already knew they gonna get that cut. Then I still got to send for more. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy then, but you definitely got to choose it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't choose it, you gonna crash out.
It's just frustrating from a female's point of view to know that both of those sides exist, and then to see so many men choose that lower element when it's not necessary. Like, you're not in LA, you're not in Cincinnati, you're not in, so you have time and space to be able to access that God. And especially when you're dealing with somebody of my stature. Like, I'm not even talking about nothing physical, nothing, but like, I carry the goddess with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who I am. It don't matter what setting you're gonna put me in. That's who I am, and that's how I stand. So that I demand nothing less from the person that I deal with. So I'm just like, it's kind of a catch-22, because you're not always gonna find somebody, especially as a woman. Like, our balance is, we're more emotion and you guys are more mental. You guys are more logic. So a lot of times that's what you're bringing to the table, is going to be that logic and that, that stability, if you will, is what a real man is going to be bringing to a table. Whereas a woman's going to look at you and be like, you've been wounded here, 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 and here. Your mama was fucked up. This is fucked up. That's fucked up. Give me your spirit. Let me heal that. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me mold that. Let me fix that for you. And let me put that back so that you could elevate to your highest stature and be the God that I need. But trying to find that balance between, I'm settling at some point in time, once I realize, like, I can only, you only gonna be in your God when you're around me. As soon as you go hit the block, you're gonna be right back into your devil. And
Well, see that's where you can't build. This is not build a bear. You know what I'm saying? You can't build nobody. You know what I'm saying?
everybody
This ain't build a
right
bear.
now,
That's not how it works.
you're right. It's standards, because you have to have a certain degree of God in you in order for me to be able to. I got to stop
Yeah,
Captain. Oh, these demons.
like yeah, you can't build nobody now. You know, you can try, and that's where men and women, I know, even for myself, trying to play Captain Save a Hole or whatever, you know.
That's crazy.
I mean, I ain't trying to call nobody no names, but that's what it is at the end of the day when you look at it. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
No, you were saving.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me shut up.
But I'm just being for real.
He telling them.
Yeah, I'm just being. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. But anyway, but yeah, it's all on the person though. And when you go try to save somebody, you got to make sure they want to be saved first.
They be acting, and that's kind of what me and him were talking about before we got on here. Is
Yeah,
like,
true, but you don't be so quick to do something. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Trust me, I get it. You want to help.
it's so hard.
You want to. Yeah, I understand. You want to be that lending hand, but sometimes that lending hand, the first thing to get chopped off.
Yep, that motherfucker go bite you. Turn around quick, fast, and a
Yeah,
hurry.
yeah. So
Then I
I
say
tell
you put your
everybody,
hand out. How many
watch how they
times?
move.
That
Yeah,
goes back. I said, how many times you gonna put your hand out, and how many knives can you take in your back? How
yeah.
many
Me
hands can
now,
you grow?
me now.
Hard, because when you operate in your God, it's like, you know what they're capable of. I'm not just choosing just any old person. You already have to have a certain standard of God in you.
I choose violence. I
Huh?
choose violence every time. I choose violence.
But you deal with your God status when you come with me. Like, you still deal with your God when you come with me, do you not?
Is the devil a god?
It's an entity for sure.
He's a god, though, right?
I mean, it depends on how you define it. I see where you're going with it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you said, you choose according to who you dealing with, not
Mm.
everybody. You know
I
what I'm
don't feel
saying?
like I just deal with any.
And that's a major part of it too. Who
Yeah.
I
you
feel like I
around. You know what
who
I'm saying?
already. I'm not going to instill the God in you, if that makes sense. Like, in order to even deal with me or talk with me, you already have to be on a certain stature. I'm not impressed by your car, your pockets, your looks, none of that shit. So you already have to have a certain degree of God. As street as you are, you have a certain degree of God in you, and that's why we deal with each other. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not just taking your low bucket. Like, I'm taking people with true potential, but then they still fall back into just, I'm like, how are you grown and you still in this child's mentality? How is this possible? How do you want so
It's
badly
a it's a form of protection, and I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that you said that I'm gonna attack you about openly. I'm gonna attack you. Yeah, I'm gonna attack you head up. Is that for an example? I'm not a gang banger for the
with
record.
R to ER?
Yeah, I'm not a gang banger. I'm a gang member, but the one thing that I know about the culture is that niggas is the most sensitive, emotional motherfuckers. That tell a gang member no. Say no to a nigga and see how he act and react. Nigga gonna act like a child, a man child. He gonna give you every excuse and go crazy. Oh, start throwing shit around. We're emotional men. We're a lot more emotional than women actually realize. And being that small world, for an example, has his cultural difference. He deals with stress from what I've seen over 15 years, uh a lot better than a motherfucker like me gonna deal with.
Oh, we know you.
He yeah, he's calm. He gonna talk about it, and not to the person, but if I sit with him, like I said, we don't have mad car rides, mad blunt rides, sitting in the parking lot, blowing it down. We done did all of that, and my boy, he don't never raise his voice. He just expresses himself. That's just how he get down. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not. That's he's one of one. That's what I call it, one of one. But then you have niggas like myself. Nah, nigga, you gonna hear me. You gonna hear me, goddamn. You gonna hear me from 3 blocks away. I'm a Virgo too, so it makes it even worse. Yeah, you gonna hear me. So I feel like it's not fair to say that men lack the emotion because we are emotional. It's just some of us aren't willing to exert the energy to express our emotions.
It's not even, and that's a sad thing that it has to be exert energy, because, and I recognize that struggle is like, you guys are built, everybody's energy, their intuition, their essence, that's the God in them. And instead of being taught that that's the God in you, you guys are taught that that's your weakness. And that's why it takes the opposite sex usually in order to be able to heal that in you, is because you guys haven't dealt with that on your own. um I don't know. I don't necessarily think that you guys are less emotional. I just feel like that's not your superpower. Logic is your superpower. Whereas us women, we're brought up in a condition where we're able to express fully our emotions. We're able to explore them in a safe place without being considered less of a woman. So you guys aren't even familiar with your own essence. And that's what it takes, that balance of it. You know what I mean?
I do. Let me tell you something. In small world, tell me if you agree on this one. You want to know why men use their emotions within their power? I tell niggas this. I'm a great fighter. My hands, I got scars on my face. I like to fight, right? One thing I'm not gonna fight another nigga about is if he's mad because I fucked his wife. Okay, and I hate to be so vulgar, but you're not gonna win that fight. You're gonna lose that fight because he's emotional. He's tapped into a whole nother
And it has
realm
no
of strength.
over, because the way that phrased it.
That nigga's angry. It's like slapping a nigga McDonald's meal, a fat nigga McDonald's meal out of his hand, and he's pissed. Leave that nigga alone, or put a gun. I'm pulling the gun. Look, I ain't got time today. All right, you gonna back the fuck up. All right, leave me alone. I'm going
I'm gonna
home.
walk over. Yeah, I'm gonna walk on up out of here. You'll wait till I crack my coffee and you get up. Straight up.
As much as I love fighting, you're not gonna beat my ass, bro. Because I know you're gonna beat my ass because you're that emotionally involved.
That's a
He,
superpower.
yeah, he's that angry. He's emotional. So I really feel, and I think that women think on logic. Women are super logical. That's why y'all be figuring out if a nigga cheating or not. Fuck that woman's intuition shit. That's all math. 1+1 is 2.
Bro,
The
nah.
sky's blue and the
Maybe
grass is
most
green.
females, nah, bro. I'm the type chick that I left old boy here on Thanksgiving and old girl's house.
Yo, Thanksgiving is crazy.
I ain't gotta look for shit. God just gonna hand it to me on a platter every time. I don't go through your phone, nothing.
No. You ain't getting away with that one. No evidence, no nothing. You ain't getting away with
No
that.
effort. I'm dead ass. No effort. God has showed me
Oh,
every
shit.
time. Whether or not I listen, that's on me. But he
Nigga,
showed me every
yo,
time.
he talking to his homeboy right now, like, yeah, that bitch crazy as hell, bro. Like, she ain't had
Ain't
nothing,
nobody
bro.
talking about me
Like,
right now. I'm single.
she ain't go through your phone, nah, bro. She just woke
No,
up
bro.
and was
I'm
like,
dead
you
ass.
cheating,
I'm
nigga.
at my fucking
You
my
cheating, nigga.
and I get a caller on the phone telling me, bruh, when you deal, and that's the whole thing, like I'm a different type chick. So when you deal like I deal righteously. I ain't never cheated on nobody in my entire life, not hold hands, not kiss nobody, not nothing. And that's why I'm rewarded by the universe the way that I'm rewarded. But there's a certain way you got to move through life in order to even be on that frequency to have that call made.
You want some swinger shit. I don't know what the fuck you got going on over
Swinger,
there.
I swing on you. That's about it. Hell no. I be way fucked up. You know better than that. Wow.
Bro.
Coming on the show. That's my one breaking point is like I can do a lot of shit, but
Not fucking
infidelity,
around.
bro, get your shit and get out. Anything after that is like you got a couple months to get yourself together. Come to me
Look,
with honesty. I'm not feeling.
that's why the bros. That's why the bros stick together and we say, "Hey, bro, don't move your shit in, bro. It's too early. Don't do it, bro. Leave the shit in the back of your
I'm so
car,
done
my
with that too.
nigga."
Because everybody talking about how women are gold diggers, and I come with, okay, I got my own house, I got my own car, you know what I'm saying, and pay my own bills. Like, I don't need shit from you financially. But motherfuckers is intimidated by that. Like, I don't need you to have your own mortgage. I don't need you to have that. But then they're like, I don't want to move in because you're going to be like this and that. Maybe that's what you're used to dealing with. If I'm telling you move in and I'm telling you this is what it is and it don't work out, then you're gonna have like
You
90 days.
just woke up with no proof. It
Huh?
said the nigga was you just woke up with no proof. It said the nigga was cheating and said, get your shit and get the fuck out.
I said cheating is my one that I'm not fucking with. Shit
But you
like that.
woke up with no proof though. You woke up with no proof.
The proof was right there. The proof was right there, bruh. Dude sat me down at Chuck E. Cheese with his wife, bruh, and his daughter to discuss the infidelity. Like the way God don't play about me be on some real.
Nigga, nah, you woke up and said, today's the day, nigga. Today is today. Yeah. Get your shit. Yeah, you
I would
forgot
never
that. Get that shit.
out because we not working out is my point. I would never be like if we got together 6 months in, you decide that you're not feeling this and that. I'm not just gonna kick you out because we not working. Don't disrespect me. I'm not gonna be on the phone with other dudes in the house. You're not gonna be on phones with other. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna be hurting each other's feelings. And if you can abide by that, move into the other room. Give yourself 90 days to get back on your feet and to be able to move out and do stuff. Now I understand most females don't deal like that, but that's where that is. Most females, you guys ain't used to dealing with a real one. Y'all used to dealing with these trifling hoes. And then I have to fucking suffer for the shit. Like the fuck.
Ain't nobody fucking with you, man.
I know.
He's stupid.
Ain't nobody fucking. I'm a born again virgin.
Yo. No, but that's what's up though.
I don't know. I think y'all just don't recognize that. And maybe it's the true on the other end too. Like y'all don't recognize when a female's not your average. And maybe a chick won't recognize when a dude's not your average. You know what I mean? Because y'all so used to dealing with trash. And I'm so used to dealing with trash.
I wouldn't say trash.
God trash.
I wouldn't say trash.
There's some God in you for me to be dealing with you. There's still trash.
No, because it's 48 laws of power. Every man and woman has their own agenda.
Yeah.
So
like I said, it just depends what you standing for. That's all.
Yeah. Huh?
What you think my agenda is? We homies. But what you think when I deal with people, what you think my agenda is?
Your agenda. You in it for what you want.
What do you think that is?
You just said all of that. You gonna make me
What
walk
did you
you down? Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say, you trying to a communion type situation. A goddamn, we going to church without being at the church.
daily?
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, but life ain't perfect. So yeah, you gonna have a demon. You gonna have a God in your bed. You like, oh yeah, he's a God, but the God could be the devil.
So how do I fix that?
You
My
can't,
picker is
nigga.
broken, clearly, motherfucker. How the fuck do I fix my picker?
You get goddamn tin for you and wrap yourself in a spacesuit. Shit. And hope you don't burn to death.
Shit, it's gonna be some cellophane. I'm gonna suffocate.
That's really what it comes down to, because I consider myself still to this day, I'm a nomad. And I say that because I'm not comfortable nowhere. I could stay somewhere for a few years and I want to move again. And I want to move again. I want to move again. I want to keep wherever I'm comfortable or whatever I got going on. And I think that's just like women in life. Like women get bored easily. Like I told you, this is not the fucking 80s, the 90s, the 60s, the 70s. Women get bored, men get bored. So you got to find your comfort zone. Like Small World was saying, like you got to find that sweet spot to where you like, all right, I'm cool here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It might not be perfect, but I'm cool here. Like,
Stuff that feels like home.
yeah, like,
Mm-hmm.
perfections, imperfections, you gotta accept it all. Like, accept everything that come with the play. Like,
I don't
it's
think
all a play.
I have a problem with that as much as a man do.
It's because you like a nigga. Let's just keep it open.
I had to be because I'm light skinned. So it's like I got curly hair and light eyes. I'm used to being fucking a fucking piece of ass to everybody in their eyes. I had
No,
to make sure that I was
I
not
didn't.
average
I,
in order to
I,
be.
I'll wait for the live to go off because to tell that story because no, you wrong about that one.
I'm
You
just
wrong.
girl coming from like people
No.
expect a certain type of thing out of me and they're not
Cause
gonna
you
get
you
it.
was so you was so mad. You was so mad at me, boy, that day. I'll never forget that day. You was so mad. It couldn't even express a nigga self. Like nigga walked away, clack with the heels, clack, 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 clack. Mad at the motherfucker. I was like, God.
It's a possibility. We all got our own agendas.
Yo. Yeah, you were mad. So that's why I say like everybody got their own little. It's just like you gotta get in where you fit in type shit. Like niggas, yeah, niggas on hoe shit, bitches on hoe shit. We yeah, we as fellas, we want fast cars and a lot of money and big booty hoes in every video. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we want all that. The
What is
women,
that wear off?
when does it wear off?
Yeah.
Once again, every man's a dog. It's about how loyal the dog is to the owner.
I'm like,
So
oh,
I
no.
think that say that it don't never wear off because a man is gonna be a man and a woman gonna be a woman.
I don't know, because I'm looking at it like I get disgusted by your average, like just your dude that just thinks typical. So, at what age does that typical chick disgust a man?
I don't know about small world, but I think the mental as we get older, at this safe for like right now, it don't matter. Like I'm a conversational type of guy. Like we gotta have a conversation. Yeah, I'm a little enticed. But if it's some brain dead airhead shit, it's like, yeah, you can go somewhere with that. You know
Attracted.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
How
but
brain to no brain?
Brain to no brain.
what happens when the or for you as a female, because we could speak about us guys all day. The female finds this guy with the muscles and he's got it going on. He could have great conversation. You know what I'm saying, and all of
Lost me
that
at
stuff.
the got me at the convo. Go on.
But still, it's all amenities that come in. So it's like a hotel room. You know, your hotel might have a jacuzzi in it. It got a bunch of shit. You might get a free banana boat ride. Who fucking knows? But at the end of the motherfucking day, it's the amenities that come with the room.
So if you was my pappy, what would your advice to me be?
Fucking advice. This cruel, this stupid ass world. I look, stay prayed up, nigga.
Hey, word. Hey, real
I
talk.
my dream.
Real talk, man. Real talk.
Stay prayed up.
Trust the God with the streets perfectly.
Yes, stay prayed up. That's it. Pray to your ancestors first, of course, first and foremost. Stay prayed up and shit. Walk the line, nigga, and stand on whatever you stand on. Walk the plank. You gotta stand on that shit.
I don't know. I'm just like, I don't like, I'm not the clubber. I'm not the step outside of my house for real. So how do I find my forever if I'm not really looking for him?
Like I say with me, that's when you, I guess. Well, I don't know. I don't like using that word about it though. Like that forever or
Yeah, cause none lasts forever.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Really?
But like I say,
Married.
nothing lasts.
How
Nothing
you
lasts
say
forever.
last forever?
Nothing lasts forever.
mm-mm. But yeah, I don't like to look at it like that. It's just a choice. Everything comes down to choice. Because the longer you with somebody, that's the more you gonna find out. Oh, you like this? Damn, you like that? You get what I'm saying? Just through time, just as quick as you can find something attractive, if you want to call it about somebody, it's always the opposite.
Are you turned off when you see somebody that wants red bottoms and shit like that? Like, is that attractive to you?
To me personally, it
Yeah.
depends. It depends.
What you mean?
What stage am I at, and what's going on? Like now, no, and not just because I'm married, because I'm 37 and I'm not trying to work all my life. So me buying you a 400 pair of heels ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. But if it was me when I was 18, 20 or something like that, and I just had it, it ain't nothing. Here you go. It just depends on, like I say, the mental.
I think that's what I'm getting at. At what age does the stuff that should discuss?
But it varies though. Cause you can meet somebody my age and at the same time, that's what he like. So that's what he gonna do.
And that's what it really comes down to is like male and female is, are you dealing with somebody that is attracted to toxicity? And I think a lot of people have been in toxic relationships and toxic situations to the point where that's what they are attracted to. They're not realizing that adrenaline rush or that whatever is, you know what I'm saying, what's keeping them. What's healthy or what's good for you ain't what's attracted to you because it requires work out of you.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think that's why I thank God for my kid. Cause I don't even want to think about how I'd be if it weren't for them. That's real talk.
So
Cause
you
I
think
know how I was. Cause I knew how I was headed before they was born. I put it that way. I knew where I was headed before they was born.
Okay, you're saying they changed that trajectory.
Yeah, in a major way. They really did.
I could dig it. That's what the fuck gonna grow you up, son.
I don't know. That's a good question because motherfuckers still be thinking I'm like 25, and I'm like, bro, I could be a father, nigga. Because I like, for an example, we talking about this. Like, I don't like Jordans. Like, I own 2 pair of Jordans, and that's only for the colors, right? And they was on sale, right? But I was teaching my daughters like I like wearing Hirachis and shit. Like I'm a Hirachi dude. Like if I show you my sneakers, I got like 20 something pair of sneakers, and most of them they all in the boxes, and they mostly Hirachis and shit. And meanwhile, they like Jordans, and like I'm trying to teach them like how to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordans cost me like $200, $300. My shoes cost like $80, $90, a pair, like, which is cool. Um, but like I said, I think the materials for me being different don't make the person. Like I shop at fucking what they got down there, bro. What we got, not PCX, but what's the name of the store down there with the clothes and shit and the sneakers? You're gonna get name brand sneakers and all brand clothes. You know what I'm talking about, bro.
You
Down there,
you talking about City Trends?
yeah, City Trends.
Yeah.
You got City Trends down there. My jeans cost $15, $20. And I'm walking through like, so I don't know. I'm a little different. That's what I say. I'm a flashy nigga. I don't wear jewelry like that, but I'm a flashy ass nigga. But I don't really know how to that growing up. I'm grown in my mind. I'm not grown on the outside. So you got niggas out here that's still wearing jewelry and shit. Niggas like 60 years old and shit, wearing all they gold outside the Walmart and shit. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what I'm running into. Is just like trying to impress their homeboys, and I'm like, that is so gay. Grow the fuck up.
and you that's why I say you're not evolving. That's your problem.
I'm supposed to evolve to like dudes who like to wear their jewelry to Walmart. That's my final evolution. Kill me now.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean it is what it is. But yo, is there anything you want to touch on before we wrap it up?
Nah, man, you could go ahead and pull the Trojan and the Magnums out right now.
Dang, that's crazy. That go crazy. oh, oh, that was a headshot.
On up, bruh.
God. Damn. No lube. That was some Diddy shit right there. It was no Diddy on that or nothing. That shit was straight shot.
Ooh,
This nigga said, that nigga, what's that nigga named Unk something? That nigga said, boy butt, girl butt, ain't no difference. You gotta try them both. That nigga.
Diddy right there.
Yeah, word.
No Diddy, no doubt.
Hell no, they should have never dropped that interview. That's what the fuck they should have did. That should have got deleted. Nah, but good shit. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no bars for us, cuz, so, we out of here.